All right, welcome to the video. As you notice, a change of pace here. I am in Santa Cruz, which is one of the most beautiful places in the Bay Area, California. So we are just gotta wait for the day just to experience the beauty of where we live. So a lot going on this week. We've been literally packing up our stuff, and I've really come to the conclusion that our life can be put into 3 containers. So this is a typical morning of a weekend. Now that we're moving, it's not quite easy, and there's loads of stuff to do. So I'm just going to show you the house and what it looks like as we are packing away and trying to figure out what's going to go with us. Massive mess, as you see here. And what we're doing is creating 3 piles. We have a pile that's going to go to China. Got a pile that's going to go to South Carolina. That's going to go to our small little cabin that we can store stuff there. And then this pile here is going to go to Goodwill that we're going to be donating stuff. So really just a bit of spring cleaning. So a mixture of packing and doing all that, and also spring cleaning. This summer, how this is going to work is I'm driving across the US from California to South Carolina, and I'm going to be taking a carload of stuff to our little cabin in South Carolina. My wife is flying to England and Wales to see her family with our daughter. So we're trying to break down what goes where. So these suitcases will be going to South Carolina, taking a bunch of stuff because we're flying there in April, in about 3 weeks, and we'll be unloading them. They'll be holding there in South Carolina. We'll be taking these same suitcases to China when we go in July. This stuff here is going to go with me in the car this May to South Carolina, and we're just trying to sort all this stuff out. And right now we're just troubleshooting the car to determine how much stuff can fit in the car as I drive across the country. And this is kind of our stuff that is fragile, that can be broken, and we're sticking those things in there. And then we're going to try to fit 4 of these in the car, and then on top of that it's just going to be everything else is packed in. As I said before, I'm driving across by myself. My wife is going to be in England, and then so it's just going to be me as well as the dog. So the dog will sit right there in the front seat, and then we'll make do with what we got. You know, it's like an observation I have as someone who's leaving the country, as someone moving away in the next 3 months, is that now that we're here, as it almost feels like we're in California as tourists and no longer residents, we're kind of treating it as that. Like, we're going out and experiencing California almost as tourists. For example, here in Santa Cruz, I mean, we don't ever come down here, but now that we know that we're going, we've decided that, hey, let's go and look and see and enjoy ourselves. And we walked on the pier, looking in shops, buying stickers. I know that sounds really weird, but like Santa Cruz stickers. Like, when we were living here, I would never buy a sticker because that looks kind of weird, buying a sticker of somewhere that you live, sticking on your laptop. But now that we're moving, you know, we're kind of looking at that, sweatshirts and shirts and stuff. These are all things that we've kind of looked at buying, and that just shows you the mentality of moving, is that no longer are we thinking of being residents here, but we're thinking of moving. And that's, again, as I stated here before, like liminal spaces. We're moving, we're getting out of here. And that's really exciting. And in regards of us getting ready to leave, this past week was a really, really big week for us because I got my FBI background apostille check back. So I'm good to go for that. Also got my university transcripts back that are now apostilled, or has an apostille. So we're sorted. I mean, I sent my stuff off to our employer, and they're preparing our visa application moving forward. And to be honest, you know, that's the kind of the last hurdle that we have for a while. Just waiting on our daughter's apostille of her birth certificate. We had to follow that up in Japan because she was born in Japan and she has a Japanese birth certificate. So we had to hire someone to sort that out. It was about $200 to do that. So they're in the process of mailing the apostille back to us. So that's kind of the last little thing that we have to do. And then finally, our employer is sending this to the consulate in China. And then in July, we have to go to the consulate in Washington, D.C. to kind of do the paperwork to get that visa. So though we have everything in, though we have the apostille, though we have all the documents that we need, it's not over yet. So we have to go to the Chinese embassy in June, to get our paperwork done, and so on. This is just kind of an update of where we are. Still not much going on, but we are moving and we are getting out of here, and we very much look forward to it.